This is the sixth time I'm doing this video. Alright. Today is Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. No. I didn't record this video so many times, I'm getting my dates mixed up. Today is Friday, November the 10th. If you watched my previous video, you know that Wednesday the 8th was the day of my D&C. And I'm here to tell you my experience the day of and after, and how I'm doing physically and emotionally. So, Wednesday, November the 8th, I had a report to the hospital at 10 o'clock. I didn't want to go, but I went. So, I reported to the hospital at 10. I got called for registration 10:30, and I was called in the back around 10:45. So they called me in the back, and they took my blood, which they did because the last time I was at the hospital, which was on Halloween, Tuesday the 31st, I believe it was Tuesday, yeah. And my electrolytes and stuff was low, but I didn't stay to the hospital because they had a very long wait. And at that time, I was still throwing up from the hyperemesis, and that was actually the last day I threw up. I had started to lose my pregnancy symptoms after that day. So I thought that, hey, my body was finally recognizing the baby is not alive. So they checked that to make sure that the electrolytes wasn't low anymore. And then they had to match me up with a blood match. I get a blood donor match, because in case I lost a lot of blood during the D&C or after, I was going to have my match already there to give me my blood transfusion, which freaked me out, and it did scare me, I cannot lie, because I was like, oh my gosh, I could lose a lot of blood, like, thoughts started running through my mind. And of course I signed off for it and everything. So the lady came in to do the IV, and I knew that was going to be hard because I'm a hard stick. She tried twice, one in each hand. She got the needle in, but couldn't get the needle to go in the vein, like up the vein. She couldn't thread it through. And when she kept trying, it hurt. So she was like, I'm not going to stick you no more. So she called the IV team. The IV team came down with the the vein finder. She scanned my arm, and she found a vein on my forearm. So she was like, take deep breaths into your nose, out through your mouth. She was saying things, I'm going to put your arm on this, I don't want you to jump. So I'm sitting here looking at her like, where's the lidocaine? Because the early used lidocaine on my skin because I have tough skin. And she was like, I don't think it's the best decision to use the lidocaine. It can distort the vein, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so are you going to get the lidocaine? Because I knew where she was going to hurt. And you're going to expect someone not to jump. I have tough skin. IV needle is painful. So if you have to force the needle through my skin, how do you think that feels for me? So she finally went and got the lidocaine. She numbed me, got the IV in, told me don't move, don't jump. But honestly, I didn't feel it because I was numb still. And she was like, the IV that she put in my arm was good enough to give me my sleep medicine in, but the OR me want a bigger IV. And I'm like, well, why can't you just do the bigger IV now? I don't want to get restuck. And then she was like, if you get stuck again, you'll be asleep, so you won't worry, you won't know about it. So I was like, okay, cool, you can stick me when I'm asleep, that's fine. And after that, my nurse Robin, she gave me the Cytotec, And if anybody doesn't know what cell tech is, I kind of know what it is from reading up on it and stuff like that. It softens up your cervix and it helps to start contractions. So she gave me these 2 pills of Cytotec, and I broke out crying because I knew what it was for. And I, at that point, I was like, I can't believe this is it. This is really about to happen. So she pulled the curtain and she cried with me. She talked with me. She was very nice, very, very nice. So around 11:30, 11:45, I finally, she didn't force me to take the Cytotec. She actually let me take my time. I finally inserted the Cytotec. And after that, I came back, and there was a box on my tray in the room I was in. And so I picked up the box because I was curious about what it was. And I realized the box was for the baby. It's called an Enora Collection Kit. It's a miscarriage test for people who have done a panorama test, a blood test that tells you the gender. It's from the same people. And let me see. There you go. That's the box they put the remains in. I know I can't figure out which one to say, baby or remains. And anyway, so the doctor came in. After I seen the anesthesiologist, the doctor came in, and he was very nice, very nice. And he pulled the papers out the box. He filled them out. I signed them. And he said my insurance should cover it because it technically was my 8th miscarriage. That it should, it should be an issue. So I guess we shall see. But I know the results come back within a week or two. And I'll get to know if anything was wrong with the baby and the gender of the baby. So that will help me also put closure to this situation. So time going on. Mind you, my procedure was for 10, so we're hitting 2:30, and my boyfriend had to leave to go pick up Shania from the bus stop. So I'm still wondering, like, what's taking so long? So a student doctor, there we go, that is under my OB. I seen him at my first appointment with the new OB, and he was in there when I had a pap smear. So I'm like, hey, you didn't seen the most intimate parts of me. How you doing? And he's so sweet. He sat in the room with me for a good half an hour. We talked about cartoons, and we had a great conversation. He's going to be a very good doctor. His bedside manner was awesome. And he explained the D&C to me, and he said he was sorry as well. It was just amazing how much support I had from the hospital. I didn't expect it. I wasn't expecting it, and it was just, it made it easier. It made my crying easier because I knew that once this procedure was over, I was no longer going to be pregnant. And I had to deal with that emotionally. I carried the baby I was supposed to be the day of my D&C 11 weeks, and the baby passed away at 8.5. And I found that out at 9 weeks. So I carried the baby for almost 9 weeks. And I was attached to the baby. Who wouldn't be? And it was the first time I ever seen my baby alive. Heart beating and everything. And then I go back, and then when I look at the ultrasound, the baby just laying there as they're asleep with no heartbeat. So that's also the reason why I took it so hard. I never experienced that before. So all my other miscarriages, I never got a chance to see anything on ultrasound. Never. because I had all my blood work done, and most doctors back then didn't see the 12 weeks. I never made it 12 weeks. The longest I made it was 8, and I had that miscarriage naturally, and that was horrible. And I didn't want to go through that again. So this was totally different. Anyway, about 3 o'clock, they wheeled me into the OR, and they was putting me on the table, and I'm just laying there like, I don't want to be here. And while I was in there waiting to be pushed in the back to go through my procedure, 4 babies was born, and that hurt too. So anyway, they started giving me my mask. They started telling me it was putting me to sleep, and the stuff hit my vein. Oh, it burned so bad. It burned so bad. And the lady who was holding my hand, and I kept trying to tell her, thank you. It's like, whether they hold your hand or not, she was not, it was just, she held my hand, and I appreciated it because I needed it. And when I woke up, the doctor who was in the room with me earlier, as soon as he came in, I waved at him, and he waved at me. And he said, do you want some ice now? Because I told him the first thing I'm going to want when I wake up is ice. And he said, I bet you're going to tell me, go get that ice. And I said, yes. And he got me some ice. So, all in all, I had a lot of support. And I still do. And I thank everybody that commented or watched any of my videos now, because the support from everybody has helped me go through this. I mean, mentally, I was in a bad place. And I appreciate everybody being there, commenting, or it's just a lot. I've had so much love and support. I can't explain it. Just know that it all helped me so much more than you ever know. And I will be starting counseling. I'll start counseling on the 20th. Since I know I'm going to need more time to talk about it and heal. But after the D&C, I had a lot of bleeding, but I was doing more moving than I was supposed to. I can't lift more than 10 pounds. I can't go up and down the steps more than once. It's a little bit of stuff that I didn't know. It was weird. Oh, and I also woke up to Pitocin after the D&C to contract my uterus down. That hurt. But after that, I've had pain. I've been in pain for 2 days. 2 days. But I also am doing more than what I'm supposed to, so it's my fault. So I'm starting to slow down and rest and heal. I go for my follow-up in 2 weeks. By that time, I also get to find out, what's happened with the baby and everything. Hopefully, he'll call me within the week that the results come back. But I think he may make me wait to come in for my follow-up. So, my follow-up is the 21st. So, I'll be back. And before then, to, let you know how I'm doing. Since the D&C. Since I'm 2 days out from the D&C, it's just the same pain. I need to rest more and relax, and maybe I won't be in so much pain. It's more than cramping. They only gave me ibuprofen, and I need more than ibuprofen, so I'm just trying to deal with it on my own and just try to relax. So, alright then. I finally made it through this video with no interruptions. I'm going to let you ladies go, and I'll be back soon. But again, I thank everyone for every word, anything kind that you've did since I came out with my video of my loss. I appreciate it. because I need it. I need all of it because this is so hard. So, alright, ladies. Bye.